So welcome back to my channel. I guess I'd like to start off tonight's forehead reading with a special dedication to our beloved hamster Tammy, who passed away this evening. Tammy is really sad. Tammy was a really great hamster. That's this one. That's Tammy. She was the chubby one. And then Hammy has since passed about, I don't know, 6 months ago. She was the bitey one, and that's why she's wearing a glove. It's my daughter with her glove. And yeah, Tammy was such a great hamster. She was so lovely and friendly and easy to handle. And I know, for example, Theo Vaughn said that hamsters are unvettable, I think he said. But Tammy had some health issues, and we took her to the vet, and you know, it was, I think it was about $230 later, they told us she had mites and basically diabetes for hamsters. So they told us not to feed her so much, but we couldn't help it. We just kept feeding her. But anyway, that was a year ago, so she still lived another year after that. And so anyway, but she did pass away. She wasn't looking good for quite a while, and we did get her some more mite medicine, but I just couldn't afford to take her to the vet again. Another $200 for the hamster. So I was kind of saving up for it, but alas, just wasn't enough time, and she didn't make it. So there she is now, ready to be buried in some park somewhere under a beautiful tree. We love you, Tammy, and we will miss you. Thanks for being our little special spirit friend. Play in the fields of the beyond, our sweet little Tammy. But yeah, so tonight's a little sad start, but tonight's forehead reading is on this guy, who is a pretty special guy. That's Mr. Lenny Bruce. I was kind of excited actually to revisit Lenny, as I haven't really thought about him for a really long time. So to do this video is kind of taking a trip down memory lane back to a time when I was completely obsessed with him in my early 20s or late teens. So yeah, I love Lenny. I know a lot of people, and even there are a lot of comedians who say they just don't get what the big deal was with him, but I just always really liked him a lot. So what was it about Lenny? He wasn't known to be really an especially nice guy. He wasn't a philanthropist or a beloved character, really. As a matter of fact, he could be a real jerk sometimes, at times. But make no mistake, he was an earth shaker. Basically, he was the Tupac Shakur of comedy. If you ever see the footage or pictures of him outside the courthouse, it's the exact same vibe as Tupac when he was outside the courthouse and surrounded by reporters. At least to me, I just see that those pictures and those images, and I get the exact same feeling. These are just legends who have their backs against the wall, but they're still fighting. They are not giving up, even when the whole world is against them. You can't help, or at least I can't help, but give it up to people like that. So, because that is in reality what courage of conviction actually means in human form. So he was a rock star, or rap star, or comedy star. And he is another one who is in my top 5 favorite comedians of all time. And I will we'll get to more reasons why in a minute. To start, Leonard Alfred Schneider was born on October 13th, 1925 in Mineola, New York, United States, of course, which would make him a Libra with a life path number of 22, which from the jump explains a lot. Then he was Jewish, which the only reason I really mention this is because a lot of his humor or identity is Jewish based. For example, his Goyish versus Jewish bit. Kind of like Jerry Seinfeld in that I don't think it would be wrong to say that they identify or identified with being Jewish. Otherwise, it doesn't really matter, of course. Aside from satisfying a curiosity about a person's cultural or religious background. Similar to, say, Bobby Lee or something like that. His father landed in America from Britain, and his mother, Sally Marr, I think was just American. I'm not sure generation, but so a lot of what I'm going to go on is from memory. As I mentioned, it was a while back that I read or listened to everything I could get my hands on. I think it was in my late teens, really. I was just obsessed with him, including his autobiography and whatever else I could listen to and find back then. Although I did scan through his Wikipedia just to get some basic facts and refresher information. But otherwise, most of this is from memory. So forgive me if it's a bit spotty. One of my dream nights would be to just hang out with a bunch of other Lenny Bruce enthusiasts and listen to his comedy recordings and dissect his act or acts. What fun that would be. So Lenny was a beat comic, if there is such a thing. I don't recall hearing that attributed to him, if at all, but that's exactly what he was. The beat writers, for example, were influenced by freedom, by jazz, by politics. And you can't help but feel when you read the books from that time or listen to the music, or as with Lenny, when you hear his comedy, a certain magic prevails. There was just a magic in the air and at that time, and this was a time of change when everything was new and different, and but the Beats were intellectuals and very forward thinking, and this is exactly how Lenny was too. His comedy was free flowing, free associating, stream of consciousness, or even to borrow from Hunter S. Thompson's coined term, gonzo. His comedy was totally gonzo, meaning just all over the place. Try to keep up, because what the heck is he even talking about, but brilliant once you catch that wave and take that ride kind of thing. I find myself, when listening to him, sort of intake my breath while he is just going straight on, and then breathing out when he would take a breath. And let me just say, if a comedian can make you breathe or literally control your breath, then holy crap. No wonder he scared the hell out of the establishment. Speaking of breathing, I quit smoking a couple of weeks back now, and now I can't breathe properly, so forgive me if I seem slightly out of breath at times. Hopefully normal breathing will return soon, or I'll have to start smoking again. Hopefully not. But anyway, so yeah, Lenny, what was his allure? In an true Hollywood story, his daughter, who, holy crap, she was definitely on something. Hopefully not now, but definitely then. But anyway, she mentioned that she was abused and that he was abused. And again, this is another case of, well, yeah, clearly. And again, to anyone who's experienced this or knows someone who has suffered this kind of thing, there are some things that stand out. And with Lenny, his insouciance, his boyhood sort of or boyish sort of spazzy ways, his kind of arrested development, not to mention drug addiction, women, rebelliousness, lack of restraint or boundaries, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It's just really clear that this was something I would almost guarantee happened to him. But yeah, his allure. I mean, he was definitely a handsome guy in his youth, and he had a spark and a drive. And he was charming in kind of an annoying, boyish way. And he was funny. And I think he had that pull that people just wanted to save him, and you know, maybe women wanted to take care of him. But yeah, he was definitely naughty, and he was called a sick comic because he spoke about things that were not spoken of in those days. Like sex, for example. But yeah, so the topic of sex definitely played a lot into his comedy. And he had this bit about, okay, so this is actually from Wikipedia, and I quote, so to is a preposition. I wonder if I could do this voice. To, no. To is a preposition. Come is a verb. That sexual context of come is so common that bears no weight, and that if someone hearing it becomes upset, he probably can't come. Things like that kept getting him arrested for obscenity during a time when people maybe spoke about such things behind closed doors, but not out in public, and certainly not in a club. So yeah, to me, I think that was just a really good grammar lesson. You know, to is a preposition, come is a verb. What's wrong with that? So anyway, let me back up a bit because I'm getting way ahead of myself. So Lenny grew up with his mom, who I would say probably had, I don't know, a narcissistic disorder or maybe a borderline personality disorder. And I think from what I understand, people with narcissistic disorders, if they're parents, their kids usually end up with borderline personality disorder. But so that may have been his problem too, but she definitely had issues because she was just way more interested in becoming famous than she was in being a wife and a mother. So she left Lenny's dad and took Lenny with her to try to make her way in show business. But, you know, having Lenny around kind of cramped her style, and so she sent him back to live with his dad. And, I mean, I would guess that this was probably one of the most, if not the most defining moment of his life, to be rejected by his mother. I mean, that story would have been written on his soul, and having that history burned into his soul, I mean, that would have begun to outline what would later reveal itself through the chapters of his life. He never would have overcome this, or at least not without some serious and intensive therapy, which I don't think he ever delved into. Also, I believe that he spent some time in an orphanage. So again, we don't know what, you know, yeah. Again, actually, we do know what that does to a person. Just look at Marilyn Monroe. So this is just to say it didn't start out well with Lenny, which is why it didn't end well. It's not to say that it has to be that way, but let's just say it isn't too surprising. So yeah, I'm not sure what education Lenny had. Probably not much. which doesn't matter necessarily. He was just brilliant, so it really doesn't matter about his education. To listen to him, you would think he was very educated, actually. But yeah, I don't think he was, and he ended up in the Navy at a young age, maybe 17 or so. But this eventually bored him. So after a bunch of midnight strolls on deck in a dress, he was dishonorably discharged. And so then he went to find his mother. After this point, he wrote a few screenplays and started emceeing at strip clubs, which is where he met his future wife, Honey, who just happened to be a drug-addicted stripper. And but there he began to hone his craft. I was surprised to read that he and Buddy Hackett, and this is directly from Wikipedia. Bruce was a roommate of Buddy Hackett in the 1950s. The two appeared on the Patrice Munzel show, don't know what that is, from 1957 to 1958, calling their comedy duo the Not Ready for Primetime Players, 20 years before the cast of Saturday Night Live used the same name. So yeah, I mean, even SNL was influenced by Lenny Bruce. I consider Lenny Bruce high comedy because you have to think about what he's saying. He's just a smart guy. He didn't suffer fools gladly. But yet he spoke to everyone gladly, equally, that is. But his humor is highbrow to me because, he just spoke about everything, breaking things down to a fine detail. Just like, for instance, regarding obscenity, how he discusses obscenity, like, I don't know. There's a really great bit on that on YouTube. So, but yeah, you have him breaking down obscenity and spreading it out for people to understand what it is and what it isn't, and to question the insanity of every little thing. That genius is a purity of thought. It's just so insane to me that in 1961, Lenny was arrested for the use of the word cocksucker, and 8 years later, a bunch of hippies with their boobs and balls out would be partying in a field at Woodstock. So it just goes to show that the only thing that changes people is time, and even then, not so much. So he went on to influence into fame and to getting busted over and over and over again for obscenity. And he didn't change because he couldn't. He would go on the next night somewhere else and do the same thing, or worse, and get busted again. And his career was ostensibly over. And he didn't give up. He kept fighting because he was that kind of an original. And originals don't give up. They can't comprehend that idea at all. And while those around them may say, boy, you are just like really screwing up and you're ruining yourself and your life and your career, they just say, don't you see? I am just me. That's all they can be. So yeah, I mean, it seems to me that if a comedian doesn't like Lenny Bruce, then they probably don't like jazz either. Because Lenny was jazz. His words and his mannerisms, they were jazz music in the form of a comedian. But that being said, I also feel that Lenny Bruce is, this is my opinion, of course, is more of a woman's comedian. No offense to the men out there, but I just think that women can relate to Lenny, partly because there is an affinity with him insofar as being heard. Lenny always seemed to struggle with being heard and understood and not misunderstood. And I think a lot of women can relate to that. We always struggle to be heard, or to find our voice, or to find the right kind of voice so as not to offend. And so we share that with Lenny. And also, he really loved women. And what's more attractive than a red-blooded man who appreciates everything woman? And also, he was really funny. That bit he did about playing money, I just think that's genius. I just love that bit. I don't know. There was just something about him that I loved, and like Jerry Seinfeld, I don't consider him the greatest stand-up comedian, but make no mistake, he was hugely important. He broke down walls and barriers, single-handedly paved the way for the freedom future comedians enjoyed and enjoy, with his obscenity busts. He took it on the chin for every comedian who came after him. Anyone with their slightly off-color or blue acts, such as, Red Fox, Richard Pryor, Sam Kinison, thank Lenny. I mean, he knocked down those walls with his humor hammer. The shame about Lenny is that he didn't realize that time could be his friend, that time and tide wait for no man, or even as Mark Twain quipped, that in modern times, man does not wait for time nor tide. Either way, when the heat gets too hot, step back and wait. Nothing better than a comeback when the time is right. But he fought time. He fought time, and he fought man. And he lost to both. But we have his legacy, his example, his audio, his video, and his words. So for this, we are thankful. So once again, how I do this, I pull pics from the internet. I do not own them, and this is for entertainment purposes only. The pictures aren't that great because I have a little computer that pixelates the images, and I'm not techie enough to figure out how or what to do to make the pics better. But anyway, I read the messages that I see written on a person's forehead in a semi-psychic way and tell what I see I think they may be going through at the time of the picture, or a message that they should pay attention to in the example of if someone is living. Not in Lenny's case, obviously. May he rest in peace in the humor heavens. On Hugh Hefner's Playboy's Penthouse show, Lenny Bruce was on, and he made a comment about saying in all seriousness that I would never satirize the obvious. And I thought that should have been on his gravestone. I would never satirize the obvious. So in his memory, I will title this episode, Lenny Bruce, I would never satirize the obvious. And also R.I.P. Tammy. So, to start with, we've got this picture. And so this one I found pretty interesting. I actually looked at this picture before just starting the video, just because I usually just kind of go in and, see what comes up. And, but this one, just the first picture, I thought, I'll just have a look at it, see if I can see anything first. And I don't know if you can see this, but it actually freaked me out once I saw it, because I started sort of seeing something up here a little bit. And so I started focusing in on this, and just to see if I could see what it was. And then I started sort of going down the face, and I don't know if you can see that, but holy crap, that completely freaked me out. And I had to say a little prayer, actually, because that is just like a man possessed, and not in a good way. Yikes. So, I mean, that was definitely my takeaway from that video, or that picture. It actually frightened me. So definitely at this time, I would say that he's just kind of, he's kind of possessed. So, yeah, that was the main takeaway from this. Obviously, I see something here. It's kind of, I don't know, it's almost like a music note, or, oh, well, yeah, I mean, I guess he was influenced by jazz at the time. You know, he's on stage, he's got the old microphone. There's also something here. But yeah, that was the main takeaway from this picture. And again, that actually kind of frightened me. So I thought that was sort of interesting. But this one, so this is an older picture, you know, and he's younger, obviously. And I thought, there's no way I'm going to be able to see anything on here, because, you know, it's such an old picture. It's got a filter on it. It's got all this stuff. And so then when I start, I don't know if you will be able to see this, because it's kind of crazy. And the lines are very sort of minuscule. But I'll just explain what I see. It's everything. It's basically the universe on his forehead in this picture. And again, it's hard to see, but once you really start to focus in, it's just every little, you know, every millimeter has something. And it's too much even to describe. And it's again, you probably won't be able to see it. I'm not sure, but it's just everything. And it's too much, like I said, it's too much to even describe. So all I can say is at this point, he has so much on his mind that he's ready just to kind of, he has so many ideas, he has so much going on, he has so much to think about, he has just so much on his mind. Also, this is when he's starting out. I don't know if this is at the time that he was a playwright. I'm not sure. Yeah, so, but it's a good picture. He's looking, you know, he looks great in this picture. And there's definitely a lot on his mind. But if you can pull that one up on the internet, and maybe you can see what I'm talking about. There's so much going on. So this is when he's getting a little bit older. He's probably met his wife by this point, Honey. And I think it's, you know, probably around that kind of Hugh Hefner, the Playboy Penthouse time. Could even be a bit later, I'm not sure. But, you know, he's still looking young. He's definitely not looking how he is when he's older. So yeah, let's see what we have here. Let's see what we can pull up. This to me looks like a key. So I wonder if the information that he has is like a key. And it kind of is in a way, in that it's a key to the future. What he was doing, unbeknownst to him, unbeknownst to a lot of people at the time, probably, you know, even unbeknownst to the police who were arresting him over and over and over again, was that what he was doing was changing things. He was changing the landscape of the future. His comedy was key in that. And he was key in that. So I guess, I mean, to see that key there at this time is not surprising. I mean, his insights were brilliant. They were incredible. So yeah, to see that key there, and also a little triangle here, which again is meaning more and more to me, enlightenment, but also look, it's upside down. So looks like if I was to say anything, I would say that you do have the key, but the way you're seeing things is upside down. So, you know, work on that so that you can flip that triangle and maybe focus more on your spiritual aspect of things, or, you know, just work on that kind of stuff more. You know, but yeah, that's very interesting that key is there. Also, at the end of the key, there's this little heart. So I think that his knowledge is based in, it's coming from a place of love. So it's not coming from a place of, you know, anything negative. It's coming from a place of love. So yeah, if he just worked on that, you know, on getting that knowledge base sort of just flipped, I would probably ask him, you know, are you doing anything like, you know, too much drinking or drugs or anything like that? And if you are, it's upsetting your, you know, it's upsetting your path to enlightenment. So take a step back from that. Then also, let's see what we have here. This looks like, not sure. I mean, it looks kind of like a star to me. And this, like I said, this is probably around the time of Hugh Hefner, so his star is definitely on the rise at this point. Again, I'm kind of seeing that showman sort of thing. Here's the arms sort of waving in the air like, me, you know, here's me, here's the body, here's the head, the star. I see that a lot. This, what's that? I mean, again, because these are so pixelated or just not clear, especially because they're old pictures. It's a little hard to get the detail. This kind of looks like a shark or an airplane to me. Could be either one. I'm not sure what the airplane would signify, but does sort of look like an airplane to me. Yeah. Let's see. Not sure what this is. Two. Looks like a 2. Not sure. Yeah, I mean, I guess the biggest takeaway from this one would be the key. Definitely the key. Like, you have the key. You have the key. Or you are the key. And yeah, he was the key. Definitely. No question. This one, I don't know if I'll be able to see anything. I think I did take a glance at this one before. What I do see in this one is a diamond right around the third eye. Yeah, so he was a life path of 22. You know, life paths of 22 they usually reach to like sort of superstardom in their own way somehow. Yeah, this looked like a diamond. Actually, this looks like a diamond to me too. Maybe cross? I don't know. Was this around the time when he was doing the Goyish versus Jewish bit? Maybe. Maybe. I don't know. This looks like a bit of an ankh to me. Seeing some diamonds here. But yeah, right here, that is, I think that's the big one in this picture, is that it's like, I would say his third eye is wide open and shining bright like a diamond, to quote Rihanna or Sia. Like, look at that. It's just right there. And then there's the other diamond here. I mean, he had that potential. I think that's sort of the sadness about him too, and the frustration is that it just was all there. He had the complete package, like his talent, his mind. But it's just because he was so screwed up from his childhood. And, you know, and then the drugs, of course, and just all of that really just got in the way for him. But he had it all. He just had that diamond mind, you know. And, yeah, it's just such a shame that he kind of went out like he did. Yeah. This one looks to me sort of like a Y. It's kind of the same picture as before, but this one I can see a little Y. That's a bit different. And I think, I mean, that's what he did. He always questioned why. And the universe is, you know, it's very literal. So, and then these things that are written on people, these messages are literal as well. So when you see a Y, that means literally like why. And he could be questioning why. Why is this happening to me? Why am I like, why am I in this position? Or just how he questioned everything. He questioned everything down to the most, finite detail. So, and that was just his brilliance, and that was, if we can learn anything from him is that would be it, just to question everything, and here's an arrow going up. So yeah, he's on the rise at this point. So he's still young. I would probably say that this would probably be the peak of his existence here. Or, I mean, not existence, but fame anyway. So he's on the rise. He's just questioning why. This, kind of looks like a dollar sign to me. So, yeah, he's in the money at this point. This looks like a J. I'm not sure who J is or what J represents. But what else? This looks like 12 or 11. This looks like a little infinity sign. 12, yeah, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12. What was his birthday? Wait, 10. 10 is up here. 10 or 101. Is that LOL? No. That's too, that LOL didn't exist back then. This also looks like 512. What are these numbers? This looks like, wait, 2512, 2512, 2512. This is definitely 20. Here's the 5, 12. What is this? 4011? Or maybe 22512. So anyway, these are not, wait, this is like numbers. 2512, 6100, 11 or 12. And then maybe over here is some more numbers. This is like a long line of numbers here, it looks like. So I do not know what those numbers mean, but there are numbers like right all the way up to here, then maybe down here more up to about here. So it's like a long thing of numbers. So I'm not sure what that is. And then this looks like a C. So yeah, I don't know what those numbers mean. Definitely not his birthday. Didn't, in the Holocaust, didn't they put numbers, like a long serial number on someone's arm? I wonder if he's, I'm sure he's been affected by that in his life. I think all Jewish people are somehow affected by that in their lives. I don't know. I hope I'm not offending anybody by saying that. I just don't know what all of this whole long line of numbers could be. So that's just very interesting. I think I'll move on from that. Yeah, very strange. Anyway. But yeah, the takeaway for this one would definitely be the why, questioning why, he questioned everything in such a brilliant way. This one, I don't know if I can see anything. It's so You can tell it's like such an old photo. It's so pixelated. There is one little thing here. It's like a little box. Yeah, I mean, again, you can't really... Trans-Canada. Is he crossing the border at this point? Is he getting arrested at the border? It looks like a police or maybe a customs agent. He looks a little stressed out. He's like, ugh. Sorry, Lenny, they're giving you problems at the border. This looks kind of like a symbol to me. Looks sort of like a V in the wind, almost. So I'm not sure what that could be, but yeah, it's really hard to see anything else. Little circle here. I don't know. Again, it's hard to see. But again, you can see sort of the stress is written all over his forehead at this point. I think, he's been busted so many times. Like, his career is in the toilet. He looks kind of disheveled at this point. So yeah, he's having some problems at this point. Or he's starting to have it, or he's in the midst of having it. So I'm not sure what that one would be, but yeah, I've got a bunch more of these pictures. So yeah, this is obviously a mugshot. This to me, again, it kind of looks like it's not a cross, maybe a Celtic cross that sort of looks like to me. Or again, and I saw this with Norm, it's kind of like a self-inflicted wound, I'll say that. And it's like you're doing this to yourself. You're also this is like it's like an upside down swirly U. This looks like I really have to study up on my symbols, because that to me looks like a symbol. I just do not know what. That's definitely some kind of a symbol. I don't know what it is though. Not sure what that is. Oh, triangle. Huh. The triangle is right side up this time. Interesting. Considering this is a mugshot, you wouldn't expect that necessarily. Not sure what that is. This to me looks like a 3. This is, what is this? Yeah, that's definitely a 3 here. 3. What is this? Was he 35 at this point? How old was he when he passed away? I think he was 40. I wonder if he was like 35 at this point, or 36. This looks like maybe a 36. 35, maybe 36. There's something here, not sure what. And then there's something up here. I don't know what that is, but yeah, so moving on from that one. Oh, okay, so back to younger again. I guess we're just kind of skipping all over the place. See if you can see anything. Yeah, he just looks like such a handsome guy here. But you can see that, I mean, part of what I see, I think it's in Chinese face reading that the right half is who you are. The left half is who you present yourself to be. So if you see who he's presenting himself to be, kind of like, hey, normal guy. But then he's like, you people suck. You know. So, you know, it's just that kind of thing. Like, I mean, I would say he's probably starting to struggle here as well. As far as forehead goes, I don't really see so much. There's something here. I'm just not sure what it is. And then this looks like some kind of a little symbol. Looks like a 4C. What's that in psychological terms or hospital terms? If somebody's 4C, is that anything? I don't know. Oh, the triangle's upside down again. All right. He's all mixed up. So again, I would say to him at this point, oh dear. No, this is, my gosh, hangman. Here is the hangman. Boop, boop, boop. Yep, and there's the little kind of devil. Okay. Get away from that one. Praise God. Yeah, I see the hangman. Oh gosh, Lenny, why do you do this to yourself? You should have taken a break, gone to a nice island somewhere, and hung out on the beach. Oh my gosh, this is totally the hangman. And there's the little guy. Oh, and the triangle is upside down again. See that? Okay, can you see that? So here is the hangman. Here's the thing, and there's the little guy, and triangle is upside down. So, yeah, he is really just not doing himself any favors at that point. So, yeah, Lenny. There is something on here. Just not sure what this looks like to me. I don't know. I don't want to waste time just trying to figure it out and making the video. I don't know. I'm not sure what that could be. Okay, so here again, I mean, yeah, it's just looking like he's just kind of fed up. You know, he's just frustrated. Oh, poor Lenny. You know, he's had to battle so much. I see kind of a little face there with the eyes that are just vacant, kind of. You can see that. Sort of like, to me it looks like right here. There's the face. Kind of vacant. Sort of looks a bit alien-like. And there's, oh yeah, he's just laying down. Just sort of taking it. Laying down. Here's another face here. Uh-huh. I would say at this point, if I was to say anything to him, wow, what's going on this side? What is this? Holy schmoly. This is, again, sort of like the first picture. There was so much on this side. What is that? I mean, this to me says this is a person with a long nose who looks like they're whispering and talking about something, someone, probably him. I think he's probably feeling pretty paranoid at this point. I think that there's a lot of outside influences. A lot of people are talking about him, or at least he thinks there's people talking about him. And I mean, if I were to say anything to him at this point, I would say you need to take a step back. Like, you're getting too paranoid, you're getting too wrapped up in your circumstances. Go take a nice long vacation and don't worry about this stuff so much. Just get back to who you are, straighten yourself out, and get away from it all, because this is really affecting you. That's what I would say to him at this point. Oh, there's that picture again, that you can see the universe in his head. So he's getting older now. He's still, for sure has a drug problem. He always had a drug problem. I mean, you can see in the eyes the darkness, and it's kind of always a bit, I don't think I could see anything, and actually I don't even like that picture, so I'm just gonna close that one out. So this one's kind of nice. He has a bit of that still kind of innocent look in his eyes. Again, this is what's going on here, which I don't know what that is. V, maybe for victory, or I don't know. Not sure what that is. It's something. I just would probably have to take some time with that one. I do see a little heart here. I do. There's something. There's a lot here. I just that would take me a lot of time, and because I'm just not seeing something clearly pop out. It's just. Another 3. There's a 3 up here. 3. What does 3 mean to him? Oh. There's definitely more. Just don't know what. Maybe an R. Again, looks a little bit viral or something to me here. But I just feel like it's more. Okay, I'm not sure, so I'll just have to close that one out. All right, let's see anything on this one. Okay, still got his looks and everything. He's getting older. I'd say probably, again, I think he was 40 when he passed away. So I would say here he's, I don't know, I'm gonna say maybe 35 again, 36 maybe, something like that. I'm not sure. But anyway, let's see if we can see anything. House. There's a house. There's two houses. This is a house. This is another house behind it. I wonder if he's buying a house at this point, or if he's concerned about his house, or there's something going on with his house. Or again, I mean, it could be an arrow. It could be a couple of arrows. This looks like an arrow here too. Like right here, sort of. Arrows going up, but I don't think he was going up at that point. So maybe they are, I mean, instinctually I would say houses, so I would think probably something in his home life would be on his mind. So if I were to say anything, I'd say maybe concentrate a little bit more on your home life. That needs to be something, to be addressed. So that's probably the takeaway from that one. Looking quite young and dapper here. Again, it's so hard to see with this one. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything, so I'm not gonna take time. Oh dear. Okay, yeah, so he's getting older here. He's like, this is probably kind of close to the end of his life. Or getting there, getting close. I'm seeing a lot of boxes. And for some reason, boxes to me symbolize either TV or money. So I'm thinking in his case, it's probably money. I would say he's having concerns with money at this point in his life. So it's all those lawyers' fees, you gotta pay those lawyers. I don't think there's anything. This is so like washed out. I don't think I can see anything here, unfortunately. He kind of looks like Jimmy Fallon a little bit. Yeah, that's who he reminds me of anyway in that picture. So, but yeah, I don't see anything. There he is. Looks like he's getting arrested. Probably after one of his shows. Looking not too happy. Looking not happy at all. Looking pretty annoyed with the whole situation. Like, come on, I'm just a comedian. Can you give me a break? Oh, like, can't you people take a joke or what? So there's something there. I don't know what. But this has gone over an hour already, so I'm kind of getting to the... I still have like 4 more pictures, so I'm not going to spend too much time on the rest of them. Again, it's hard to see with this one, so I'm not going to... Getting on an airplane, going somewhere, maybe Europe. Oh, that's that same one from before. Okay, oh, that's the same one from before. And that's the same one from before. So I guess we'll just end it with that one. And just say, Lenny, we miss you. You're an awesome guy. Thank you for your humor. Thank you for your life. And thank you for your legacy. And hope you're doing well and cracking them up in the humor heavens. So that's it. That's all we have for today. And rest in peace, Lenny, and rest in peace, Tammy. Bye for now.